Hey, what's going on? How you doing? Virtual high five. That was cheap. I gotta stop doing that. Today's video, GoPro Hero 10 Black and how to get some crazy angles, including a fake drone shot. Big thanks to Joby for sending me the GorillaPod and the Telepod for the GoPro. Now, these angles will work on any GoPro. So let's get into it.
This one is going to be a bit of a pull through. So what we want to do is pull the camera from one end through something else. In this case, I'm going from one side of the car to the other. We want to get the Joby Telepod as long as possible, and that includes screwing on the legs that are included. And also we want to start changing the angle on the actual GorillaPod depending on what we're going to be shooting.
This angle with the GoPro Hero 10 Black and the Joby GorillaPod is one for those of you who like to get some point of view action shots, especially when you're driving. That shot looks fine, right? But, you know, when you're driving, you want that kind of feeling of motion and speed and dynamicism. So, is that even a word? Dynamicism? To make this thing a little bit more dynamic, let's turn off horizon leveling because, of course, this stops the Go from tilting at all, which means that you're not going to get that real feeling of driving. So let's turn off horizon leveling and now let's see what we get. One kind of bad thing about this is that you can't really be driving a full road. You can't go around in circles. You can't go around roundabouts or very sharp corners because the GoPro is going to bounce off your leg and it's just like you lose the shot completely. But that said, it does force you to plan out your shots a little bit more. And of course, it's only a shot. It's not an entire time lapse of anything. Now, the other side of this mount as well here with the Joby GorillaPod is that we can just flip the camera around and have a completely different perspective when it comes to driving. To frame the shot correctly, just make sure you have the actual view selected on the front screen of the GoPro Hero 10 Black. Now, this is what the whole thing looks like.
How many times have we seen the same old walking shot? With the Telepod and the GoPro Hero 10 at 4K 120, we can make this super interesting from the front and also just by hanging the Telepod over your back so you get the back of your feet. Always helps as well if there's something interesting like a puddle or a bit of dirt or grass just to kind of lift the footage that little bit more. I'm loving these angles so far, guys, and don't forget, still to come, this thing hanging out of a car, fully extended, vertical, doing a fake drone shot. This thing is going to be insane. This video is sponsored by my good friends at Epidemic Sound. This has been my go-to music and sound effect library for years. I'm using Epidemic for over 5 years now, and they've got amazing sound effects. But the one thing that's super phenomenal is the actual quality of the music that you can get on Epidemic Sound. You don't have to worry about copyright strikes, but these are professional artists. This isn't some guy locked away with like a cheap little keyboard making plinky plonky music. The sound, the music, the quality available on Epidemic Sound is just insane. All the music that you hear in all of my videos is from Epidemic Sound, so if you've been watching me for a while, you know the stuff is absolutely phenomenal quality. And I'd love for you guys to be able to share in some of that phenomenal quality from Epidemic Sound, so I've left a link in the description that's going to get you a free trial for free music and free sound effects to use in all of your content right now. So this is the crazy one. This is getting the GoPro Hero 10 Black on this Joby Telepod. I don't know about this. Anytime I do something like this, it's just always ends up in damage and calamity and tragedy.
This thing is crazy solid, but the only thing is when you're kind of unlocking it or unlocking it, it can be a little bit stiff. Maybe that's because it's just brand new out of the box. This Joby Telepod is really well built. Now, that said, would this fly out of my hand if my wife wasn't driving like a maniac? Here's the thing. This is so solid, I cannot see it bending in half. The problem is the wind, or if you hit something. Yeah, that was way too close and it was gone. If you hit something or the wind is really strong, you could just get a sudden jerk back and your hand isn't going to be able to hold it because you're not Hulk. So that's one thing to keep in mind when doing one of those angles. But what about another angle? Because this is what it's all about. This can really kind of open up your flexibility when it comes to shooting different types of angles. I know they're sketchy angle, super sketchy. In fact, in one part of this, I didn't have it tightened properly and it dropped down a bit and just, yeah, that's what happened. You said it already, but it's so good, you got to see it twice, right? Because you're like, I wish it fell off. Screw you, Vic. So that's just another angle. Now, if you're shooting something, then you can drop in this footage. This was 5K 30 with the horizon leveling on and the boost mode on. It's super stabilized on the GoPro Hero 10. So thing is, you can drop this footage in wherever you want and most people aren't going to know the difference that you went from one camera to another if you keep the color grade pretty similar. Some insane angles there. So big thanks to Joby for sending me out the Telepod, which is an absolute beast, and the GorillaPod. Now I gotta be honest guys, GorillaPods over the years and me, well, they've always wore away, but this one seems very stiff, very usable, very solid. Maybe it's just because it's out of the box, but we'll see how it goes, but definitely very useful for the GoPro Hero 10 Black, or indeed any GoPro for that matter, because it's got the standard GoPro mount. I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe if you haven't, and until the next time, check this video out and don't stop fighting for yourself. This video could not be going worse. Seriously. Look at this. GoPro Hero 10 Black, screen smashed. Oh yeah, and while I'm on it, I smashed the back of the Sony ZV-E10 screen as well. Here's the lesson, kids. Do not leave anything on the bonnet of your car and just close the door thinking it'll be fine, everything will stay there. It doesn't.